Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, working hard, staying focused, pushing through, but somehow life still feels like an uphill battle? Like no matter how tightly you hold the reins, things keep slipping out of your control. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. In today's world, we're taught that success and happiness come from constant effort, from never giving up, from always staying in motion. But what if the secret to getting everything you want is actually to stop chasing it? Just for a moment, imagine this. What if life is not a mountain to climb, but a river to flow with? What if instead of holding on tighter, the key is to let go, just a little, and allow the universe to meet you halfway? In Buddhism, there's a deep and powerful lesson about surrender. But surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means giving in to the natural rhythm of life, to the unseen wisdom of the universe, to the quiet truth that what's meant for you will never miss you. Today, we'll explore that idea. How calming your mind, releasing control, and trusting the universe can actually bring you closer to everything you've ever desired. Let's begin with something many of us don't realize. The universe responds not to our words, but to our energy. Think about the last time you were anxious. Maybe you were waiting for a job offer, or hoping someone would call you back, or trying to make something happen in your life. Your mind was racing, your heart was tense, and you were imagining all the ways things could go wrong. That's desperation. That energy, tight, fearful grasping, sends out a signal. And that signal doesn't bring peace. It doesn't bring abundance. It attracts more fear, more stress, more lack. Now think of a time when you felt peaceful. Maybe you were walking in nature, breathing slowly, not worrying about anything in particular. You felt open, clear, steady. That's a different vibration. That's what we might call calm confidence. And it's this energy, this inner state of balance that the universe responds to with generosity. In Buddhism, we understand this as aligning with the flow. Life isn't something to control, it's something to harmonize with. When we vibrate at the frequency of calm trust and openness, we naturally attract experiences that match that frequency. People who are good for us, opportunities that feel right, outcomes that unfold with ease. It's not magic, it's resonance. You see, when we chase things with desperation, what we're really telling the universe is, I don't have this. I'm afraid I'll never get it. And the universe, like a mirror, reflects that back. But when we calm our minds and trust deeply, even in moments of uncertainty, we send a different message. I am whole. I am ready. I believe it will come. And that's when it starts arriving. There's a beautiful analogy in Buddhist teachings. Imagine trying to hold water in your hand. If you clench your fists, the water slips out. But if you open your palm gently, it rests there. Life works the same way. The more tightly we grip, the more we lose. But when we soften, when we let go just a bit, we make space for everything we desire to land gently in our lives. And this leads us to a second truth. You only block what you try to control. Control is something we're taught to value. We make plans. We set goals. We work hard. and those are all good things. But when we become obsessed with controlling every outcome, every step, every person's reaction, we create tension. And tension pushes life away. It's like trying to tune a guitar string. If it's too loose, it won't play a sound. But if you tighten it too much, it snaps. Balance is the key. The same applies to our lives. When we're too loose, lazy, and indifferent, we don't manifest anything. But when we're too tight, worried, micromanaging, obsessed, we snap. We suffer. We burn out. So, how do we let go without falling apart? How do we trust the universe while still living with intention? The answer lies in shifting our inner posture. Instead of holding on tightly to how things must go, we stay open to how things could go. We act with clarity, but without desperation. We move forward, but we release attachment to the outcome. We show up for our lives, do our part, and then we allow. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means saying, I've done what I can. Now I trust that the rest will unfold as it should. That mindset, calm, faithful, open, is powerful. It's not passive. It's not lazy. It's brave. It's deeply, quietly strong. And here's the paradox. When you finally let go, life begins to flow. The doors that were stuck begin to open. The people you need show up at the right time. The answers you've been searching for become clear. Not because you chased harder, but because you stepped back and allowed space for the universe to do its part. It's not always easy, especially when you care deeply about something, especially when you're afraid. But every time you choose calm over chaos, trust over fear, and presence over pressure, you're telling the universe, I'm ready, I believe, I'm open. And that's when everything begins to shift. Let's pause here. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into how silence and timing play a role in this process, and why being calm doesn't mean being inactive. It means becoming magnetic. Because when you're in harmony with the universe, you don't have to chase, you attract. There's something incredibly powerful that happens when you stop trying to make everything happen right now. When you stop forcing doors open, stop demanding answers before their time. In Buddhism, we often talk about the concept of right timing. The idea that everything in life unfolds at the moment it's meant to, not a second too soon or too late. Have you ever planted a seed? You don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You water it, you give it sunlight, and then you wait. You trust the process. That's how life works too. When you've done your part, set your intention, take an action. The next step is patience. Silent patience. It's not always comfortable, but it's necessary. The seed doesn't grow faster because you worry. It grows because you allow. One of the most difficult parts of being human is this urge to always know. We want certainty. We want to predict the future. We want to control every outcome so that we feel safe. But true safety comes not from control, it comes from trust. Deep-grounded spiritual trust. Trust that life is intelligent. Trust that the timing of the universe is not a mistake. Trust that if something hasn't arrived yet, it's not because you're failing. It's because the soil is still preparing itself. In Buddhist philosophy, we speak of non-attachment, not because we shouldn't care, but because clinging creates suffering. When you attach tightly to a specific result, you tie your happiness to something external. And when that thing doesn't arrive on your timeline or in the exact shape you expected, you suffer. But when you act with love and intention, and then release attachment to the outcome, you remain free. You stay peaceful no matter what. Let me share a simple story. There was once a monk who was waiting for a letter from a family member. Weeks passed. He went to the post gate each morning wondering, hoping. His mind became restless, distracted, filled with thoughts. Why hasn't it come yet? Maybe something's wrong. Did they forget about me? His teacher noticed the worry on his face and asked him, "Why are you letting something that hasn't even arrived steal your peace today?" That moment was a turning point for the monk. He learned that waiting anxiously changes nothing except it robs you of your joy in the present. That's what stress does. It takes you out of this moment. It convinces you that peace lies just beyond the next event, the next answer, the next approval, the next milestone. But in truth, peace is always here. It doesn't wait for circumstances to be perfect. It's a state of presence, not perfection. So how do we return to that peace? The answer, quite beautifully, is through silence. Buddhist teachers often speak of sacred silence, not just the absence of noise, but the quiet space where wisdom begins. In silence, we hear what's really going on inside us. In silence, we reconnect with our breath, our body, our deeper knowing. In silence, we stop pushing and we start listening not to the loud thoughts, but to the subtle truth beneath them. Try this, find just 5 minutes each day to sit quietly. Not to think, not to plan, not even to meditate with effort. Just sit, just be. Let the thoughts come and go, like clouds drifting across the sky. Notice how your mind slows down. Notice how even in stillness, something deeper begins to move. That's your inner alignment returning. And as you practice silence, you also cultivate another essential quality: magnetism. You see, when your mind is calm, when your energy is clear, you become magnetic. People feel it. Opportunities feel it. There's something about someone who is at peace. They don't need to shout to be heard. They don't need to chase to receive. They carry a quiet certainty that draws things to them naturally. That's not ego. That's alignment. When you walk into a room with an anxious heart, the world reflects that back. But when you walk into a room with peace, with presence, with a deep-rooted calm that says, "I know who I am. I trust where I'm going," the world responds. It offers you more than you expected, not because you begged, but because you were ready to receive. That's the secret, isn't it? Life gives not to those who shout the loudest, but to those who are ready. Ready in spirit, ready in patience, ready in peace. And that brings us to something even deeper. To live this way, to truly let the universe deliver what you deserve, you have to believe deep in your bones that you are worthy. Not someday, not after you achieve something or prove yourself, but right now, as you are. This is not always easy. Many of us have been taught to tie our worth to what we do, how hard we work, how much we give, how much we succeed. But Buddhist teachings remind us you are not your achievements. You are not your past. You are not your fears. You are a being of light and consciousness, already enough, already whole. When you know this, not just in your mind, but in your heart, you stop begging life to love you. You begin to love life. You stop chasing worth, and you start radiating it. And the universe, well, it listens. It listens not to your complaints, but to your belief. Not to your demands, but to your trust. And when you move through life with calm faith, knowing that what's meant for you is already finding its way, you free yourself. So the question is not, how can I get more? The question is, how can I create space within me to receive what is already on its way? Take a deep breath with me right now. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel the weight of control begin to loosen. Feel the possibility of peace rising from within. You don't need to fight anymore. You don't need to prove. You just need to be present, calm, and open. In the next part, we'll explore how to carry this presence into everyday life through small intentional actions that ground your trust and anchor your calm. Because when your outer life reflects your inner peace, the universe doesn't just respond, it celebrates. Now that we've touched the heart of calmness and trust, let's bring it gently into our daily rhythm. Because knowing the truth is not enough. We must live it, day by day, breath by breath. So how do we carry this presence, this deep trust that life is unfolding perfectly into the noisy world of errands, emails, and expectations? It begins with rituals, not grand ceremonies, but small sacred acts that remind you of who you really are beneath all the distractions. One of the most powerful rituals is simply beginning the day in stillness. Before reaching for your phone, before rushing into the responsibilities of the world, take a moment to return to yourself. Sit up, breathe in deeply, and say silently, I welcome today. I am open. I am at peace. This might take just a minute, but it sets a tone. You're telling the universe, I am not rushing. I am not afraid. I am ready. Another practice is intentional walking. It sounds simple, but the next time you walk, even if it's just to the kitchen, try this walk slower. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice your breath. Let go of where you're going and pay attention to where you are. The Buddha himself encouraged walking meditation, not just as a technique, but as a way to bring mindfulness into the flow of life. It turns the ordinary into something sacred. And here's a third: speaking less, but meaning more. You don't have to say everything that comes to mind. Let your words be like pearls, chosen carefully, offered gently. When you speak with calmness and intention, you not only protect your peace, you invite others in it. You become an oasis in a world that often shouts. In Buddhism, there's a beautiful phrase, let your presence be your offering. That means you don't always need to fix, explain, or achieve. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give to yourself and others is your calm, grounded presence. When your energy is peaceful, your very presence becomes a prayer. Of course, life will still bring challenges. You'll still face delays, disappointments, and days when trust feels far away. But here's the shift. Instead of reacting with panic, you pause. Instead of pushing harder, you soften. And in that softness, you find strength. There's a story from Zen tradition about a student who asked the master, "How do I remain calm when life becomes difficult?" The master replied, "By remembering that the difficulty is not who you are. It is a wave. You are the ocean." That one teaching can change everything. Because no matter what storm you face, you can remember you are not the storm. You are the stillness beneath it. You are the ocean. So the next time stress rises, ask yourself gently, am I being the wave, or am I remembering the ocean? And even in the middle of chaos, breathe, smile if you can. Say quietly to yourself, I trust life. I trust myself. I trust the timing. You see, the universe doesn't operate on human clocks. It's not watching your deadlines. It's responding to your energy. So when you align with peace, when you stop chasing and start allowing you step into a current much deeper than you can imagine. And in that current, what is truly meant for you cannot miss you. That's not just spiritual poetry. It's a living truth, proven again and again by those who let go, who surrender, who wait, not in fear, but in faith. So, as we move toward closing, let me offer you this simple grounding practice. Tonight before you sleep, sit on your bed for just 2 minutes. Close your eyes. Place one hand over your heart. Feel its rhythm. And repeat silently, I am safe. I am guided. I release the need to control. I allow what is meant for me to arrive. That's all. No special incense. No complicated postures. Just you, your breath, and your willingness to be open. And if you do this even just a few times a week, you'll notice a change. Not necessarily in the world outside you right away, but in the way you experience it. You'll start seeing signs, gentle synchronicities, people showing up when you need them, solutions arriving without being forced, and above all, a steady peace that doesn't rise and fall with your circumstances. That's the gift of calm alignment. That's what happens when you stop trying to command the universe and instead become one with its rhythm. You become less of a controller and more of a co-creator, and that's when the magic begins. So take this message into your heart. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be to receive exactly what is meant for you. The journey is not about getting more. It's about remembering what you've always had within. And the more you remember, the more life reveals its beauty to you, not in loud, flashy moments, but in quiet, golden whispers. If you've stayed with me until now, I want to thank you. Not just for listening, but for feeling. This kind of message is not about ideas alone. It's about opening a quiet space in your heart where something deeper can rise. Something that's been waiting patiently, perhaps for years, to be heard again. The truth is, so many of us live entire lifetimes thinking we must fight to be seen, heard, loved, and safe. We chase, we compare, we push ourselves to exhaustion. And all the while, the universe has been whispering, you don't need to do more to be worthy. You are already enough. Sometimes it takes age, or silence, or even sorrow to realize what we've been seeking outside that peace, that joy, that meaning was always quietly waiting within. You don't have to chase the world. You don't have to prove yourself. You only have to remember who you are beneath the noise. And then, trust. Trust that the right people, the right timing, the right answers, they come. Not when you scream at the sky, but when you sit with it in silence. I don't say this as someone above struggle. I say this as someone who has sat on the floor of confusion, who has watched plans fall apart, and who has come to understand the universe is not punishing us when it delays something. It's preparing us, deepening us, strengthening the roots before the next blooming. And you, my friend, are still blooming. No matter your age, no matter your past, there is still beauty inside you that the world has not yet seen. There is still joy that has not yet been laughed. Still love that has not yet been given. Still peace that has not yet been lived. So breathe that in. Feel it. You are not done. You are still growing, not in a frantic way, but like a tree, slowly, surely rooted in wisdom, reaching toward the light with grace. And when doubt returns, as it surely will, ask yourself softly, what if I already have enough? Just that question alone can bring such peace. Let the universe be your partner, not your opponent. Let life work with you. Let your stillness be your strength, and let trust be the most beautiful thing you wear. As we close, I invite you gently, warmly, to leave a comment below. Share one thought, one feeling, one sentence that stayed with you from this message. It doesn't have to be wise or perfect, just real. Your voice matters here. Your experience could be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if this video gave you a moment of calm, a little more hope, or simply helped you breathe easier, please take a second to like it, to subscribe, and to share it with someone who might need this reminder. Because we're all walking each other home, aren't we? Until next time, I hope you remember, the universe is not rushing you. It's loving you. Life is not working against you. It's unfolding for you, even now, especially now. So stay calm, stay open, and let the universe deliver what your heart truly deserves. You don't have to force it. Just stay soft and let it come. Take care, my dear friend, and may peace find you in the quiet moments ahead.